Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Isocost curve. Again, it's graphed on capital and labor. And what it says is all the combinations I can afford, given the amount of dollars I have in my pocket. So I can afford some combination of labor and capital with $20, or if I spend all my money on labor, I can have at most 10 labor units. If I spend all my money on capital, I can have at most 20 labor units. The function that represents this is the total cost function, which is just made up of fixed costs plus variable costs. But now we can be much more specific, where we can say, okay, total cost is actually equal to fixed costs, which is just capital expenses, costs that do not vary with the quantity produced, so like machinery. So R times K, which is the amount I pay per robot hour, per capital hour, and the number of capital units I have, plus, in a two-good world, variable cost is just labor expenses, the wage rate times the number of labor hours. And so when we analyze this, we think of this as the total cost to produce at different levels of total cost, because of course, as we increase production, we're going to have to spend more. And so the slope of this line is going to be really useful for us understanding how we minimize the cost to produce a certain level associated with the profit maximizing quantity. So in this case, the slope of this line is the input ratio. The price I spend per unit on labor over the price I spend per unit on capital, so W over R. So in the next video, we'll put those together to understand how to minimize the cost to produce.